Well, hello there, YouTube. How we going? Phantom War 2376 here again. Now, I was meant to do this yesterday, but I decided to do it today. I've been waiting 5 years for one person to do this creepypasta I found, a Pokemon one. He's never done it. I've never seen him do it, so I decided. Seeing as he doesn't have the definition to do this, I bloody will. So, with all things said and done, let's pull this off. Now, keep in mind, I am playing a video that I have made. I don't know if I've uploaded it on my channel or not, but it's in the background, so who cares. So with all said and done, let's do this. Where's my stuff? There it is. Okay. Now, this is the start of the creepypasta. Hey guys, I have a little story for you about a fake Pokemon game card called Chaos Black, hence what's playing. Now, many of these were made and they were all the same crappy ghetto-ass version of Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. But the version I got was one of the worst things that could make me... that... is one of the worst things that could happen to me with a video game. So how did I get my hands on this little game? Well, about 3 or 4 years ago. I can't quite remember, but it was around the time I was at my local flea market. But over here we just call them the town markets. But anyway, I stumbled upon an interesting game store, and they had many Xbox and PS3 games and hundreds of Game Boy games. So I looked through her Xbox and PS3 first. Nothing too exciting, but considering I didn't even have those consoles at the time, it was pointless to even look. I then went over to the Game Boy area since I had a Game Boy Advanced, and I thought they might have some cool and interesting games. I saw many legit games, and they even had a Game Boy to test the games on, so we knew what we were buying was legit, but I didn't worry about it because I was too young to understand the point of giving a shit. So I looked through and saw many Pokemon games which I have played and finished already, but then I saw one in a nice cool looking game box that had a dark diamond type of texture with a very weird looking Pokemon on it. While at the time I believed it to be Mew free, so I went up to the salesman and asked for the price, and he simply quoted $1. And I quickly reached into my pocket and handed him the coin and ran towards my parents. I can't quite remember, but I think he said something before I ran. I don't remember what it was, but I found out later on. Well, this is getting interesting, isn't it? Once me and my parents got home, I immediately picked up my Game Boy and stuck the game in and played. When I started up, it seemed harmless enough, had normal looking intro, no blood or ancient violence imagery, normal. Nothing was wrong in the middle of the screen. Anything like that. When I entered the game, it was exactly like Firelight V-Screen. Then I thought it was a spin-off like Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Crystal, Pokemon Emerald, etc. But I was wrong. When I went to the Professor Oak to collect my Pokemon, they looked fucked up and deformed. I didn't even look like Pokemon. I was so disappointed I ripped off the game, I chucked it to the ground. At this point I thought to myself, well, at least it was $1, and then picked up the game and put it with my other Game Boy games and just went and watched TV. Till last week I never played the game because of the disappointment, but last week I saw it laying on my shelf in plain sight, as if it was put there purposely. Which was weird because I've changed my room a lot in that time, and I'm pretty sure I put all my Game Boy games on my top shelf. but thought it must have fell off or something, so I went searching for my Game Boy so I could play this game again and actually try and play it. I found it and went to my game, but it wasn't on the desk anymore, it was on my bed. Thought nothing of it and I just started playing the game. And as I said, there was nothing weird about it apart from the totally fucked up Pokemon back when I got the game. I was mad about it, but now I just pissed myself about how deformed the Pokemon looked. One looks like a blob of blue jelly and one looks like a chili pepper and a centipede at a kid. There's a chili pepper and a centipede. As I moved on through the towns, there seemed to be nothing wrong with it or anything like messed up glitches or anything like that. But once we reached Lavender Town, there was something wrong with it. Well, wrong with the name. The layout and design of the town, instead of saying Lavender Town, it said Death Valley. Now, I'm not going to lie, when I saw that, it freaked the hell out of me. I don't know why, but what I did, probably because of all the ghostly stories of Lavender Town stuff, but that scared feeling soon went away, but the town itself was even weirder. The town looked melted and destroyed. The Pokemon Tower's top had a huge destructive hole in it, as if a missile hit it or something along the lines of that. The houses were melted and left with the metal poles that would usually be in a real manufactured house, but the creepy thing about it is that you can see the inside of the houses and the people that were usually inside were dead. They were just laying down with the blood patches under and around their bodies. Now at this point I really was scared shitless. But there's more. The Pokemon and Pokemon Center were on fire, and when you get close to them you could hear the faint screams, but if you entered, the screams were highly loud and sounded too realistic to be in the game. It worried me, so I left immediately and travelled to the next city, hoping everything would be normal then. On my way to what I was hoping would be Celadon City, I ran into many battles with overpowered Pokemon with fucked up names like Hungstrung Up to Roof and Lives Draw Crab and I Must Red Drum. Upon reading the names of the Pokemon I was scared because two were backwards and one was just weird. When reading the first one it said to myself, Hungstrung on Roof. Hungstrung Up on Roof. Hung can be a nickname for a boy or a girl in a relationship, and strung up on the roof could mean hung or killed. But when I hit number 2, I lost every nerve of my body. It says Lives Straw Crab, but when I looked at it backwards, it says Backwards Evil. Backwards Evil, backwards live evil. When I thought of that, I was terrified to read the next one, but when I got to the Pokemon, turned out to be a Charizard. It was level 87, but with red eyes, a black body and a chopped off arm. I saw this and felt sick. This almost ruined my childhood, but the name, it was horrible. It says I Must Red Drum, and I spit it up to see what it said. I Must Red Drum, and I always knew what Red Drum backwards was. I must murder. Once decoded, I actually started crying as my childhood was burnt. The Charizard used an attack I've never heard of before called Apocalypse. It sounds cool, but it made all my Pokemon faint instantly and I blacked out. Usually a blackout screen would appear for about 2 seconds, but this lasted for 5 minutes. And after the 3 minutes, I got 7 frame shot of the Charizard staring at me. Directly at me, and it looked hyper realistic and had the scream that I heard from the people in the Pokemon Center and Pokemon in Lavender Town. But it sounded so clear, like it was coming through the surround sound speakers and not the Game Boy speakers. Once the blacking out finished, I woke up in the Pokemon Center in Lavender Town for 10 seconds with flashing images of that terrifying Charizard I saw. And then it blacked out again, and I woke up in another Pokemon Center, but I wasn't sure where because it didn't tell me. But when you went outside, it turned out to be Celadon City. But the name was changed like in Lavender Town but the name was Better Heal, and I wasn't scared as much as I was confused. So I thought I should go heal my Pokemon. Then I talked to Nurse Joy, and she says her normal scripted lines, but also something else. She quoted, "I'm sorry, sir, but your Pokemon are dead, and I'm sorry about that scratch on your leg, but I can't fix that either. Sorry, sir, but I hope to see you again sometime." After I heard that, I checked my Pokemon, and there was none. I was deeply scared, and when I checked my game card on the trainer's left leg had a torn part of his pants and a red scratch, but then the Charizard quickly appeared on the screen, and it stayed there with a creepy demonic face, and then a text appeared saying, "I did it. I did it." Stayed there for that. Well, it was what happened next. Over and over again. Then he went away, and it scared the living shit out of me. But then what got me was what happened next. The town's name changed again to Check Your Leg. I quickly decoded it, and it said Check Your Leg. So I did that, and made me shit myself literally. There was a scratch there in the exact same position that was on the trainer's leg. The screen went black, and the screen appeared with a text that says, "Stop playing and never play again." I shut off the game immediately and pulled the cart out, and instantly went to my parents and told them. They didn't believe me. They did believe me, but not completely, thinking that it could have been a dream. But when I showed them my leg, yes, he literally got his leg cut, they got a little creeped out. The next Sunday, we went to the markets again, and I went looking for the same stall that I went to 3 years ago. And it was in the exact same spot. And I brought the game and yelled at him furiously and quoted things like, "Did you fucking know about this? And what the fuck is wrong with you?" Then he whispered to me, "Didn't I tell you to have fun?" And that's what I remember what he said to me 3 years ago. Have fun, if you can. Well, I'm not going to lie. I've been planning to have that one go through a long fucking time. But fuck me stupid. It's a crazy fucking video. I mean, not video, friggin' story. I mean, it's interesting, but I will admit this part that I'm showing here is the ROM hack of it. Now, if I'm able to, now I was just fucking grinding here. Oh, that's where I beat Brock, yeah. Oh, I didn't show the fucking next part. Basically, the definition of this game, well, the ROM hack, is you can't pass Mount Moon without a walk-through-wall game shark code. So, yeah, this game was a fucking dumpster fire. But it was so fucking cool with the Pokemon in it. But yeah, that is... No. That is the, that's the creepypasta, fellas. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe if you did enjoy it. I mean, I did another one. It's called the Speaker Box at Drive-Thru. I did that 7-8 years ago, something like that. But that one's really, that was actually fucking for real. So yeah, but yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.